I'm joined by Fabiano Caruana, who just took down Aronian. Congratulations, Fabi. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it feels like a repeat. We just had this. I think like my matches against Levon in this tournament account for like nearly half my matches. Mm-hmm. And it was another one where we exchanged blows in the first two games. Of course, I wasn't happy that I had lost, especially in Rapid, because you feel like you have very good chances to hold in Rapid. But he definitely outplayed me very cleanly in that game. But I still felt kind of calm because we've already been here so many times, and the Blitz I think went about as smooth as you can hope in Blitz. I mean, it wasn't smooth for sure. The first game I was worse, but then he blundered in exchange. The second game I was probably worse, but things went my way in the end, and overall very happy.
Is there anything that gives you an edge in these, especially the Blitz games and time scrambles where there are blunders happening? So it seems like you guys are so close in terms of level of play.
Yeah, I think it really is. It very often comes down to these last second moments, and it maybe comes down to some details that we don't really think of, not even the chess moves, but let's say not hesitating for even half a second in some certain situations, which is one of Hikaru's strengths for sure, that even if he's losing and he's maybe not even defending in the best way, but he's defending super fast. He plays extremely fast, and it doesn't give you time to get your bearings. This is probably why he held the second game against me yesterday. So yeah, it really comes down to these like very split-second things. It's not because one of us is so clearly better than another. It also depends on the day as well. I mean, you could have the same match tomorrow and you have a different result.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask about yesterday because it was a very tough finish for you yesterday. How did you recover and rebound for today?
I didn't feel too terrible. Of course, I was upset, but it's good that at least it's not the end of the tournament. So you always feel like you have it until it's over. You still have some chance. Of course, it's still a very uphill struggle, and I knew it would be yesterday to even win this match. I also didn't feel like I played too terribly. I mean, the first Blitz game just kind of went wrong for like two moves. I mean, I just blundered that when I took on f6, that he has his 93. If I take on b4, then I noticed it, and then things kind of fell apart slowly. But it wasn't like so many terrible decisions. It was like 1-2 bad decisions, and he played well. And the second game, I thought I did create chances very well, which I was happy with. And then, sometimes you find a way in the time scramble, sometimes you don't. It wasn't super easy. There was one probably very easy moment, rook d1, knight d3, but I had thought about this idea for like a few moves, and then I had forgotten about it because I never saw it working because my king was always on g7. Suddenly it's on g8 and it works, and there were like two other very clean wins. But these things can happen. I can't blame myself too much for things that happen within like 5 seconds. I can maybe be more upset about things that I do in a classical game where I have a lot of time to think, but in these like last second moments, you can't be too critical of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're guaranteed 2 more classical games, at least against Hikaru. What are your thoughts about trying to get revenge against him?
Well, classical, I don't really want to play classical now.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of enjoying playing Rapid and Blitz, and now it's back to like the normal preparation.
Right.
But hopefully it goes well. I mean, I think that it's more or less a toss-up in one match. Of course, since he has 2 lives, and he obviously is quite a favorite. But in one match, and I'll just take it one match at a time. If I make it past that, that's great. If not, then I get to play the American Cup Blitz.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe I'll see you there. Yeah. Is there any added significance given that you and Hikaru are on competing esports teams? You're on Team Liquid. He's on Team Falcons. Is there extra pressure, maybe attention for that?
I didn't really think of that. I think for the next Champions Tour event, where we have to try to qualify for the Esports World Cup, then. And I think he's already made it, so maybe he doesn't have to think about it. But for me, it's still definitely in my mind that I have to try to make it. And okay, hopefully Team Liquid can be represented by 2 players. In the final. That would be great. Of course, Magnus is already there. I felt like with Hikaru, we've had, you could call it a rivalry for so many years now that you don't need an extra reason. Like we're definitely eager to prove ourselves versus each other.
It's very true. Well, best of luck tomorrow. Congrats again, and we'll send it back to the studio.
Our congratulations as well, Fabi. But we're not done yet. No way.